97. This is WGNS Action Line. Now, your host, Scott Walker.
Right now, that time is 8:20, and you're tuned in to WGNS. And this morning, we'll be talking about things happening at the Rutherford County Library System. And we have with us in studio Trey Gwynn, the technology director, and then also with us Michaela Riley, the new bookmobile coordinator. And I guess, Trey, kind of kicking it all off with you, what is the latest at the library as far as technology goes?
Oh, the biggest and most exciting bit of technology that we have coming up is the bookmobile. I mean, we've got, obviously, you and I talk all the time about 3D printers and stuff like that, but like the bookmobile and Bookmobile 2, which is what we're really excited about, are pretty incredible pieces of technology full of like both of them will have free Wi-Fi, so if you see us at an event and you need to be able to connect to something, you can just come right up to the or nearby the bookmobile and connect. That's the big exciting bit of technology right now is almost 20-year-old an almost 20-year-old bus that we're super excited about, but it's being refurbished. So
this is the brand new bookmobile. It's been sent to West Coast Customs, Pimp My Ride, and it's going to be amazing.
We heard you like bookmobiles, so we put a bookmobile in your bookmobile. That's specifically why Michaela and I are here today. It's a 2004 just school bus.
The smaller school bus,
it's like
right?
It used to be right outside your window.
That's right.
For a long time.
It was sent to East Tennessee, wasn't it, for customization and refurbishing?
Where is it?
Yes, it's currently being refurbished with Overvanding over in Chattanooga, and so we thank them very much for helping us out with that. It's going to be great.
It's about 90 miles away, and it's being just crazy. Everything being done to it.
Absolutely. It's going to look like a completely new vehicle when it comes back.
Are they putting a wrap on it, painting it? What are they doing?
Absolutely. We got a new wrap from Print Tree, so it's going to look really nice. If you've seen our other bookmobile around, it's going to look kind of similar to that. Nice, like blue, orange, has the skitty skyline all over Rutherford County.
Yeah. Okay. I was actually surprised even though the other bookmobile is still relatively new, it needed a new wrap. And since we were getting the new bookmobile, we had someone design one that could go on both. Yeah. So they'll look like a nice, pretty fleet when they sit next to each other.
That'll be cool. And, vinyl today, because I'm thinking the last vinyl wrap you had put on the last bookmobile previous to this one, it was, 10, 15 years ago?
Nah, I mean, it can't have been. No, it was much more recent than that. I
guess I'm thinking the time before that.
Yeah, we had a bookmobile, and it got a new wrap, but then it died.
That bookmobile is deceased.
So the new bookmobile, we've had it for 3 or 4 years now. It's still relatively new, but that's what I'm saying is that like I was shocked by how quickly we needed like those oranges that are our system, one of our system colors was really starting to pale. So, but it was the perfect opportunity to get to make them both look the same, and so we're really excited about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say that the newer vinyl wrap today versus 10 years ago, there's even a difference in that, and hopefully does not fade as quickly. But it does look good though. The vinyl wrap it does change the whole look of the vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah, and one of the things that we try to remind people whenever we go out into the community with the bookmobile is that they are full service libraries.
Okay.
You can check books out, you can return books to the bookmobile. Michaela, are you going to get your notary at some point?
Yes, I'm planning to. And I'm also really excited for this new bookmobile is it's going to be a kind of a different sort of space. It'll still be a full functional library, but it's going to be more of kind of like a workspace and a display space. So whenever we take it to different events, such as STEAM events or ones with activities that you can do on board, that's going to really expand our programming offerings in order to different locations and different events.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like, for example, this weekend, fingers crossed, because the current book, the new bookmobile is still being finished. The current bookmobile is in the shop. So fingers crossed, we'll be at Juneteenth this weekend, and so bookmobile 2 will be perfect for stuff like that, because it'll have that more open kind of display space.
Yes, I think so too.
And those who need things notarized, I mean, in the near future, once you get your notary and everything approved, that will be very helpful, especially for those who live in more rural areas who are able to see and stop by the bookmobile.
Absolutely, and that's what we're also trying to do with the bookmobile too, is that we're trying to offer more rural communities like the ability to come out to the bookmobile that we haven't been able to service. I know that Rutherford County has been growing so fast that we have to keep up with the demand in the rural communities such as like Christiana and Rockvale and Blackman. So we're excited to build this up and get out there more. It's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, and surprisingly, there are some rural areas here in Rutherford County that are much more rural than people think. You know, if you don't venture out into those areas, you would be surprised.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
we've got 619 square miles of county. It's a big area.
I drive out to Eagleville every other week, and it's not even the most rural part of the county, but still, you're just like, wow, there's so much land.
Isn't it wild how much Eagleville has grown over the last few years?
Yeah.
I mean, I love Eagleville. If I could pick any spot to move to, you know, that would be it.
Yeah,
I love it out there.
Well, and then you could go visit Donna at the Eagleville Library. So, that's the brilliant thing about these bookmobiles, is that it just costs too much to build a new branch right now. It's so expensive. And the wheels just move too slowly, and but with the bookmobile, you know, and especially with 2 bookmobiles, we can really spread ourselves around the county in a way that we haven't been able to in the past.
Yeah, the cost of construction today, I mean, it has really risen over the last few years. And I can see that. Now, when you go out to these different locations with the bookmobile, are you able to offer the Wi-Fi services like you did in the past, where folks can, hop online?
Absolutely, yeah. We offer free Wi-Fi on our bookmobile, and that will also be integrated into our new one.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, the only reason we wouldn't be is if it was so rural that there wasn't any coverage.
Yeah, that's true. Now, I know you mentioned Juneteenth. You're going to be there. The bookmobile will be there.
Fingers crossed. It's in the shop, and it's supposed to be done by then.
And that's going to be Friday or Saturday? When's that going to be celebrated?
It will be on Saturday, but if we can't be there, then please come out and support Friends of Linebaugh Library, because they will be out there too.
Okay.
Yep.
So if everything goes as planned, the bookmobile is completely finished and on the road, you'll be at Juneteenth, and that's going to be, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Bradley Academy Museum and Cultural Arts Center, downtown Murfreesboro. That's like, if I look out the front window of the radio station, I can see it.
Yeah, it's just
it's right down the road,
kind of behind Greenhouse.
Yeah, it's you could walk there from here.
I literally could.
Yeah.
I could walk to the library from here. You know?
I mean, I'm assuming Michaela did.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Right next door.
Yeah.
And for those who are curious, if they want to stop by any of the branches, you guys have a lot of places to stop by. I mean, not only right here, Vine and Church Street for the main Linebaugh Library, but you've got the Myrtle Glanton Lord location, which is in Patterson Park. Then you have Smyrna. You've got Eagleville, like you mentioned. Yep.
And don't forget the Tech.
Tech Center,
those are. We have a couple of those more specialized branches: the TEC, the Technology Engagement Center, and the Historic Research Center inside the archives. I know that I think last month Kayla was here to talk about the America 250 stuff that we've got going on. So. That's why we love the bookmobile so much. It allows us to connect with parts of the community and with people who we don't normally get to connect with. And we're so thankful for all the people that come to the Tech and the Linebaugh and to Smyrna and Eagleville and all that. But there's so many people who we have an opportunity to get to talk to when we're out on the bookmobile that we just don't get to when we're at our branches.
And Trey, have you had? I'm curious. Have you had a chance to kind of research your family history and ancestry and everything at the? At the
HRC?
Yeah.
No, I you know what's funny is even though my background is in history, I am just not interested in genealogy. I don't know why.
That's funny.
And it's really weird too because I'm a third. My real name is Alan Fort Gwynn III, and I just go by Trey. So you'd think that I'd be like super into
gung-ho over it.
Yeah, I even named my son the fourth.
Yeah,
so you'd think I'd be real
into
into genealogy, but no, it's just I think I have other family members who have already done it, and so I don't feel the need to. But
they may have been wrong though.
They might have been. They might have been. But yeah, no, it's really neat, and you can schedule an appointment with
so they'll
Kayla
help walk you through.
Yeah, oh yeah, and get you the resources that you need, especially if you're local. Because we've got tons of local resources. But anything that has to do with, we have stuff that has to do with the movement of people west from the Carolinas to Tennessee. So there's stuff from North and South Carolina. All kinds of stuff, and if you grew up in the area, then we might even have your yearbooks because
cool.
One of the things we've been collecting is old yearbooks.
Been collecting old people.
We've been collecting old yearbooks that people don't want anymore, or want to donate.
That's neat. Again, with us this morning, Trey Gwynn and Michaela Riley from the Rutherford County Library System. That research into family history and all of that stuff, it is fascinating. And we researched some of our family history, and turns out one of, I guess it would be a great-great-great-grandfather, somewhere around one of those greats, I'm not sure, was the former mayor of Murfreesboro.
No, really?
Yeah. It made me feel really proud and boastful. Like, hey, look at me.
Well, yeah.
You will listen to me because my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was... No,
well, I mean, it's one thing to be a local. It's another thing to have had someone that was actually in charge at some point.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I wasn't born here. I was born in Nashville. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it is really cool though to be able to kind of trace back those years and figure out where I came from and what, down the line, what they did for a living and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a history nerd or interested in genealogy, the Historic Research Center is a hidden gem because it also gives you access to some of the resources of the archives, the county archives. So because they're in the same building, and I know that Michaela's sitting right next to me. Kayla,
that is Michaela.
the over at the HRC is it works very closely with those the folks at the archive. Now,
do they have the yearbooks on the computer, or are those like physical yearbooks?
No, they have not been digitized.
So physical yearbooks
there's a whole shelf of them. It's actually very pleasant to look at because they're all designed very similarly. And
are these yearbooks signed and everything? There's all the signatures on them and notes.
I don't know. If I've pulled one off the shelf, I haven't looked at the the blank pages at the beginning and the end. That would be that
was the big thing when we were in like high school, middle school, but my kids, nobody signed their yearbooks. They're like, we got our yearbooks and brought them home. That was it.
My son's yearbook didn't even come in until after school was over, so there would have been a chance. Yeah,
that makes it no fun. I mean, I'm like, come on, guys. Take it back to school with you.
I got some pretty ugly signatures.
We hate you.
Well, or like, I don't think this is too blue for me to say, but like they would sign right in the crack and say, I was the first to sign your crack. So
I've got those too.
So I would I don't know, a clean page sounds kind of nice compared to that.
Yeah, when you're young and you get your yearbook signed, and no matter how negative it is, you're not thinking, I'm going to have kids one day. They may want to look through my yearbook, and this is what they'll see.
And you're certainly not thinking, I may donate this to the library someday.
Don't donate yours. Keep that one at home.
Yeah, mine are for Telehoma, so I'm not sure they'd want them anyways. But I do want to return just briefly to the Bookmobile 2, because we do want to acknowledge that it was funded by the foundation, which is one of the 501c3s that supports the library, and the Governor's Early Literacy Foundation. That's where almost all of the money for it came from. And so thankfully we were able to take advantage of this Governor's Early Literacy Foundation program and then supplement it with some of our fundraising money.
That's good to hear then. So we paid, I guess, our portion locally was not quite as large as what it could have been.
No. In fact, I mean, like I said, the local money came from fundraising,
right.
so it costs very little to the actual community, but other than the specialized branches like the HRC or the tech, like we said, we want your experience coming to visit the Bookmobile to not be that different from going to visit Eagleville or something like that. Yeah. Or one of our smaller branches, the Patterson MGL in Patterson Park, right? Which again is why Michaela is doing the hard work of getting her notary and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And just offering like the library services of getting a library card, returns, having things that you can check out, all sorts of things that you can come find. So please come visit us whenever you see us around, please.
And if people have special requests of books they're looking for, you can bring that, I guess, to them on the next go around when you come back to visit that area, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If we do regular routine stops over in those areas, then we can absolutely bring requests.
Yeah. I mean, the time I am with the Bookmobile the most is when we go to visit places like Adams Place, and Michaela and Jess, who goes with her to Adams Place, do a really good job of picking out books for the patrons. They learn what the patrons at a place like Adams Place want, and they'll pick them out for them. They'll even reserve them for them if they think that they have really nailed it for someone. So yeah, in some ways the Bookmobile can be a more curated experience than going to like, Line Ball or something.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because it was a couple of years ago. I was talking to a resident at Stones River Manor, and I don't know if you still go to Stones River Manor.
We still do.
Okay, good, because she was talking about how that made her day whenever the library came by, and she was talking about how she would change out her book each week and how she loved I forgot, romance novels or something, whatever it was that she enjoyed reading. She loved the fact that she was able to get those books at no charge by the library that came to her, and she just talked all about it.
It's one of the most rewarding parts of doing this Bookmobile position. It's getting to see like the people who are happy with what we bring and that we're able to supply them with like the books that they need and that they really enjoy. So it's so heartwarming to really visit these places week after week after week.
I don't think the majority of those listening, they probably think, Bookmobile, why do we need that? We all can all drive to the library, or, we all have computers these days. But they're not thinking of, for example, the elderly who don't get out, who are, they've got something physically going on. They can't get out of the house. They can't get out of Stones River Manor in this case, or Adams Place, like you brought up. I mean, there's a lot of folks who literally cannot get out to the library. Sure. And that is, a lot of them, they grew up reading, and that is what they do in their spare time because it's what they love.
Oh yeah, I mean, you have several little old ladies who will come with a whole stack of books that they've read over 1 week, and then trade them in for a new whole stack.
Yeah, they're not watching TV, which is such a smart thing not to do. Do not watch TV.
and that's just one end of the spectrum. The other end is the daycares, the preschools, the elementary school stops. Every year towards the end of the year we get tons of requests for like career days, and the Bookmobile is the perfect thing to take on a career day trip.
My grandkids love when we read them books, and it's wild how kids of any age, they still love it, but you have to move forward in introducing them to those books in a positive way, or else they're not going to grow up enjoying reading. And reading is so important, especially even if you do it online. Reading is important because that's what's going to move you ahead in the future, the ability to read and read well.
Yeah, and we're not snobby about how
Good.
people read. You know, if they want to buy their books from Barnes and Noble or do all their reading on a Kindle or listen to audiobooks, we don't care. We just want people to read. You know,
And you can download books now and audiobooks as well through the Rutherford County Library System's website.
Yep, you can get access to Libby by Overdrive and get books. Traditional books, I mean digital books, but they're traditional, or audiobooks, or there's all kinds of stuff that's available.
Sounds good. And we are just about out of time for this segment, and coming up we're going to learn more about different activities happening within the Rutherford County Library System. But before we go, for those listening, the Rutherford County Library System is still running smoothly. It's under interim leadership right now. Yes. Still. And
David Kuchar, our HR guy, has stepped in as the interim director, but they just like last week posted the new job posting. So fingers crossed that we'll get that going soon.
Brave man. So he's moving forward with that. And again, the job search is continuing and online, just posted the ad, it sounds like. So
and if people are curious about it, it's on our website. It's on the front page of the website, so you can click on it and take a look.
Surely there's somebody here locally who may be interested in that.
That would make things a lot easier if they were local.
It would. So apply now.
Yeah.
Anyway, joining us this morning, Trey Gwynn and Michaela Riley from the Rutherford County Library System. I appreciate you being here in studio.
Always happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
We got a lot more about the library coming your way next.
The Action Line on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
This is Peter Demas, and our family is inviting your family to come eat with us at Demas's restaurant. We really focus on value. They get value. They get more than what they pay for. They get a higher level service. They get higher level food at a price that is a lot more affordable. What we're trying to do is we're trying to give people the value, and again, that they were fulfilled both within their stomach and as well as their pockets. We want them to feel satisfied. Come eat with us at Demas's restaurant on Northwest Broad Street.
Hi, this is Amanda from Animal City, inviting you to come do business with our family. We are delighted to have just celebrated our 35th anniversary, and that is all thanks to you, our wonderful customers. We are pet lovers too, and we personally select every treat and toy, ensuring it's the same quality that we give our own pets. Stop by Animal City and get the best quality pet gear in town. Animal City is at 919 Northwest Broad Street in Murfreesboro.
The Action Line on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
Right now, that time, 8:42. Well, the temperature outside is hitting around 68 degrees in downtown Murfreesboro right now. And the high today, it's going to reach around 85. We're going to see partly sunny skies most of the day today, then gradually becoming totally sunny. Yep, no clouds later on today. High 85 degrees. Also, a light and variable wind throughout the day today coming from the west to the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour this afternoon. And then for tonight, mostly clear skies, a low at 64 tonight. Winds at 5 miles per hour. For Wednesday, tomorrow it's going to be sunny and a high near 90 on Wednesday. We're going to see a wind of 5 to 15 miles per hour and also wind gust as high as 25 miles per hour tomorrow. For tomorrow night, increasing cloudiness, lows at 75. Also, we may see some more wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour on Wednesday night. Then for Thursday, showers are likely, and the showers mixed with thunderstorms are possible after 10 a.m. on Thursday. A high of 89 on Thursday with winds up to 15 to 25 miles per hour. So again, maybe a little gusty on Thursday, mixed with rain, of course. 80% chance of rain Thursday. Thursday night, more rain, mainly after 7 p.m. And that chance of rain Thursday night is at 80%. The low on Thursday night down to 69. Then for Juneteenth, which is Friday, there's a 50% chance of rain and thunderstorms, mainly before 1 p.m. on Friday. Partly sunny and a high near 83. That's going to do it for the weather. It's 8:45 right now, and we're going to return to more talk about the library and things happening within the Rutherford County Library System.
Hello from the Rutherford County Library System. This is Amanda bringing you library news and events from our 6 branches around the county and what's going on at your library system. Just in time for Independence Day, the Tennessee Philharmonic Quartet will be bringing live musical performances of patriotic and movie classics to the library. Wednesday, July 1st, visit Linebaugh Public Library on the Square at 10 a.m. for this free event. Attendees can expect beautiful music performed by the Tennessee Philharmonic, who are grateful to be bringing their art to the community. They will also be offering an instrument petting zoo after the performance. This is a unique opportunity for children to have a hands-on experience with the instruments. Guests are invited to play and examine the construction of the instruments, as well as feel the vibrations they create while being used. The Tennessee Philharmonic Orchestra believes in investing in artists of our community, regardless of age. Their continued presence during our ongoing summer reading program is appreciated. Learn more about the Tennessee Philharmonic Orchestra by visiting tnphil.org and see the quartet live at Linebaugh Library on Wednesday, July 1st at 10 a.m. Also, the Board of Directors of the Rutherford County Library System is seeking an executive director to lead one of Tennessee's most dynamic and rapidly growing public library systems. The executive director should possess experience with municipal budgeting, organizational management, and facilities oversight. Strong leadership skills, sound judgment, and a commitment to transparency and accountability are essential. The successful candidate will foster a positive organizational culture where employees are respected, supported, and empowered to contribute their best work. If you or someone you know may be interested in this position, visit rclstn.org for further information. And Smyrna Public Library is a recipient of a $25,000 grant for Tennessee America 250 initiatives from the Tennessee Commission for the United States Semi-Quincentennial. The grant award will be used to organize a community event called Walking Through History, an America 250 festival at Smyrna Public Library. This will be a free, large-scale community heritage event commemorating Tennessee's America 250 on August 1st, 2026 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Funding prioritizes high-quality historical and cultural programming, professional presentation infrastructure, and accessible, family-friendly experiences that encourage public engagement with local and national history through public performances, historical reenactments, cultural exhibits, and more. The town of Smyrna serves as a primary community partner for this project, integrating the festival into the town's event calendar and providing additional support by allowing Smyrna Public Library to utilize the Old Rock School Park in Smyrna, Tennessee for this event. Also note, all branches of the Rutherford County Library System will be closed Friday, June 19th to celebrate the Juneteenth holiday. We'll also be closed July 4th and 5th for the Independence Day weekend. Now let's hear from Linebaugh Youth Services.
Hello, this is Katie Turner, Youth Services Coordinator at Linebaugh Public Library.
And this is Ollie Miller, Youth Services Assistant at Linebaugh.
We've been having a blast with this summer's Unearth a Story summer reading program. We're digging in to learn more about dinosaurs and fossils all summer long.
We have fun programs planned for every day of the week this summer. On Mondays, we feature our Dewey Win Wheel with prizes for checking out nonfiction books and a Monday matinee at noon. All ages story times are every Tuesday morning. Wednesdays will feature our performers, and we offer afternoon story time for those who prefer programming later in the day. Thursdays are itty bitty story times for our 0 to 23-month-old patrons. Hands-on fun at the Afternoon Curiosity Club and the summer session of Coding Club. We have a variety of STEAM events planned for each Friday morning, followed by several family board game afternoons.
Linebaugh Public Library is a summer feeding site again this summer. Children ages 18 and younger may receive a free lunch every weekday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m.
We are very excited to be hosting some of our favorite performers again this summer. Don't miss the Runaway Puppet Theater, Mr. Bond Science Guys, and the Tennessee Philharmonic Quartet on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Visit our website for more details about those programs. This year, the Murfreesboro branches of the library system are teaming up to throw one big grand finale party on July 15th. Come to the MGL branch at Patterson Park Community Center between 9 and 10 a.m. to check out the branch and collect your prizes for completing the Summer Reading Challenge. Then, starting at 10 a.m., the party moves outdoors for our field day and foam party provided by Foamboree. The Patterson Park Playground and Splash Pad will also be open.
That is going to be so much fun. I cannot wait. We have great events planned for our tweens and teens this summer as well. Our teen book club will be reading A Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne this summer. The Journey Book Club will meet every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Please let us know if you need a copy of the book. Tweens and teens are invited to join us for a special First Friday film on July 3rd. We can't advertise what movie is playing in July, but it does feature Chris Pratt and a team of velociraptors.
This summer, our coding club is reading The Friendship Code. This book club is open to all rising 3rd through 5th graders and meets every Thursday at 4 p.m. Our popular Y'all Art Club continues to meet this summer with silhouette dinosaur painting July 1st.
Join us in the club room on July 11th for the Teen Anime and Manga Club. This summer, we're watching some of our favorite anime. The Teen Advisory Board, Teen Gaming Club, and Reading Pause program run throughout the summer. For more information about any of Lineball Library's programs, please contact 615-893-4131, extension 114, visit our Youth Services page at rclstn.org, or follow us for all of our events on the RCLS Facebook page.
We hope to see you soon at Lineball.
Hello, my name is Burl Beasley, and I'm president of Friends of Lineball Library, and I would like to invite you to become a member of the Friends. In 2021, despite the pandemic, Friends raised more than $31,000 for Lineball Library, Myrtle Glanton Lord Library at Patterson Park, and the new Technology Engagement Center. Membership forms are available at the circulation desk in Lineball, Myrtle Glanton Lord, and the Tech, or email us at foalintheborough@gmail.com and we will get you a membership brochure. We look forward to your support.
It is time to unearth a story at Smyrna Public Library. We have so many great events and programs throughout the summer in addition to our summer reading program. Remember, the first day to pick up prizes will be July 1st, and our last day to pick up prizes will be July 25th. For a highlight on adult programs, we have our Writers Workshop, which is 16 and up, on June 17th from 5:30 to 7:30. Please remember to email WMMacready, MACREADY, at rclstn.org to register. We will also have Horror Club again on June 27th from 3 to 5 p.m., where we will be making horror zines. Also, come check out our Bookin' It Walk and Talk Book Club, where you walk around the park, talk about what you're listening to on audiobooks or reading in real life. This is on July 11th from 10 to 11 a.m. And then on June 16th, we'll have our new Growing Roots Gardening Club, which is a combination of local history and gardening. All ages are welcome. Drop-ins are also welcome. We'll be playing in the garden from 5 to 7 p.m. For our big performers to finish up the month of June and begin us in July, we have Mr. Bond and the Science Guys on Tuesday, June 23rd at 10 a.m., and then the Tennessee Philharmonic on June 30th at 10 a.m. On July 7th at 10 a.m., Runaway Puppet Theater will be here to entertain kids and families and grown-up kids of all ages with a fun, silly puppet show. And remember, our end-of-summer foam party will also be on July 14th at 10 a.m. We have free lunch at Smyrna Public Library from June 4th to July 25th from 11 to 12 p.m. All ages of children 0 to 18 are welcome. There's still time for you to register for summer reading, and you can register at any branch. We would love for you to register for Smyrna and come pick up our wonderful, wonderful prize bundle from local business partners, coupons for those businesses. Everyone will receive a free book and book bag regardless of your age.
Hello, this is Kathleen from the Technology Engagement Center, which is next to Hobgood Elementary School in Murfreesboro. We hope you're enjoying the summer and the summer reading program at RCLS. There are plenty of good times at the Tech yet to be had in June. Pokemon Club, Lego Club, and Robotech Robotics are continuing to help keep summer fun. There's Python for Robotics, Sewing 101, Basic Canva class, and Makerspace orientations. For you crafty folks, the Tech is a great place to meet up and create. Did you know we have our own Adult Maker BYOC, Bring Your Own Craft, night on the second Wednesday of the month? You'll see everything from perler beads to hand quilting. We love all things arty, and we welcome everyone over the age of 16. Our pal Katie Beth Thomas will be leading a flower dye workshop here in July. Watch for more information on creating botanical art with homegrown flowers. Get ready for summer programming at the Tech. Just when the system's summer reading program is winding down, we are here to bridge the gap. In July, Mondays will be Dog Days. Read to a service dog. Coco and Harry will be visiting to help keep reading levels up and reading abilities relaxed. Tuesdays will be Documentaries and Chill. From Science Across America, we have access to the Wild Hope series of kid-friendly nature videos. Stop in and learn about something cool. Wednesdays, Popsicles on the Patio. Just like it sounds, cool off with ice pops and fun games. Thursdays, Science on the Patio. All month long, fun dino science. And Fridays, Lego Club for all ages. Get creative with us. And perhaps a fun-filled finale is planned. More details to come. All program details can be found on the RCLS website and on our social media. Big reminder, fill out your Road to Reading forms and turn them in after July 4th to claim your commemorative America 250 coin.
The Rutherford County Library System comprises 6 branches and the bookmobile throughout Rutherford County, including Lineball, Smyrna, Eagleville, MGL inside Patterson Park, the Technology Engagement Center, and the Historical Research Center. And remember, all RCLS events are free and open to the public unless otherwise stated. Please check our calendar at rclstn.org and social media for a full list of virtual and in-person programming and events. For a list of all the events you heard here today and for more information, please call 615-893-4131 or visit rclstn.org.
The Action Line on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
Right now that time, 8:58, and as always, we appreciate you tuning in this morning and every morning to right here at WGNS Radio on the airwaves since 1947. That's a lot of years. Anyway, moving on. We've got all the latest in local news coming your way in just a minute. Plus, we'll dive into everything happening around the world and around the country with Fox Radio News. We'll update you on things happening that you don't even know about yet. There's a lot going on everywhere all the time. It's like the news does not stop. I don't know if you notice this, but man, it's like a 24-hour cycle of just craziness these days, it seems like at times. All the wild stuff that happens each and every day. But there's some interesting stuff out there as well. Quite a bit of interesting stuff that's not negative. So don't worry. There's some good news out there too It's not all bad. Anyway, we're coming up on the 9 o'clock hour, and you're tuned to WGNS Murfreesboro. And in just a few minutes after the news, and that's both local news and news around the country and around the world, after the news, we're going to have, we'll be headed to Rutherford. The Round Table. The Round Table comes your way in just a little while, and we'll update you on even more happening locally.
The Good Neighbor Network, WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna, voted Tennessee's top station for excellence in broadcasting. Courthouse clock time, 9 o'clock.
They plotted an attack outside the White House. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, but the FBI thwarted it days before, disrupting plans to target the UFC Freedom 250 event in the Octagon on the White House lawn Sunday night. Fox's David Spunt reports.
5 are in custody. Fox Digital reporting investigators have 23 people on a list as part of this potential network of alleged plotters. Investigators tell Fox the plan was to use drones with explosives to hit buildings near the White House, which would force a mass evacuation and steer crowds toward a pre-staged sniper team. A, quote, second wave was allegedly planning to storm the White House gate.
Of course, that never happened. Vice President Vance was at the event and tells Fox.
This is what happens when people turn the rhetoric up so loud that disagreeing with somebody is a cause for violence. That's the place that we've come to, unfortunately, with too much of our political rhetoric. We got to tell everybody to tone it down.
Especially, says people on the left. As for Iran, the vice president also tells Fox.
The United States working with our Gulf Arab partners in a way you've never seen before in the history of this country. And I think that's one of the reasons why we've gotten to the point where we have a very good peace deal that's on the table that we're ready to sign.
And he'll be signing it Friday in Geneva. That's when President Trump says shipping will flow freely through the reopened Strait of Hormuz.
The ships are starting to move nicely. Oil is starting to go, and the prices are coming down rapidly.
Falling almost more than 3% again today. And the president also said at the G7 summit in France this morning, he might soon read every word of the agreement at a news conference.
Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. That's what it says. It won't have one to buy, to develop.
He's also pushing back on reports the deal includes a $300 billion fund for Iran.
He wants to make it very clear that no amount of U.S. tax dollars are going to be going to Iran, that fund is actually going to be put together by the Gulf Coast Coalition as long as Iran keeps their end of the bargain.
Fox's Aisha Hosni in Geneva. America's listening to Fox News.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250 micro to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
You're great at protecting your data, but lots of places could still expose you to identity theft.
I thought it was safe.
If that happens, LifeLock gives you a U.S.-based restoration agent who will stick by your side from start to finish. Phone calls, filing documentation, preparing insurance claims, your agent handles it all. In fact, we're so confident restoration is guaranteed or your money back. Isn't it nice to have someone like that on your side? Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Now an update from the WGNSradio.com News Center.
Parents across Rutherford County are being reminded to closely monitor the apps that their children use after the National Center on Sexual Exploitation issued a warning about the messaging platform Kik. The organization says one of its researchers created a Kik account posing as a 12-year-old girl and began receiving sexually explicit messages from strangers within seconds. NCOSE says that the account name clearly suggested the user was underage, yet the profile remained active while receiving sexual comments, nude images, as well as links. The group says Kik claims to be for users 18 and older, but doesn't require meaningful age verification. Parents are encouraged to review apps, privacy settings, hidden folders, and any platforms that allow private messages from strangers. Meanwhile, online safety isn't the only concern facing families and educators in Rutherford County. School leaders say student behavior problems are increasing in local classrooms. During a recent work session, school board member Butch Vaughn said schools need to regain control. Director of Schools Dr. Jimmy Sullivan told board members that kindergarten behavior has become one of the district's biggest challenges, while Stan Vaught said the district needs help with guidance, policy, and funding. The board is also discussing capacity at alternative schools, including Daniel McKee and Smyrna West, as conversations continue with state legislators. That's all for now. For more local news in a quick format, be sure to check out the Rutherford Roundup podcast. I'm Dalton Barrett for WGNS Radio, part of your Good Neighbor Network, and I'll talk to you later.
The Good Neighbor Network, on air and online at wgnsradio.com. Rutherford County's most trusted source for local news. Rutherford weather.
A mix of clouds and sun today with daytime highs approaching 85. Lows around 64. Tonight, clear skies. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on News Radio WGNS. Currently, it's 60 degrees.
Think the customers know I raise these eggs myself? They do now. That hen's been louder than your radio.
See you at the Rutherford County Farmers Market, 315 John R. Rice Boulevard. Friday, 8 to noon. Tuesday, 7 to noon or 2 to 7.
Meet the hens behind the eggs.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at wgnsradio.com. This is The Roundtable, Tennessee Association of Broadcasters Award winner for Best Local Talk Show. A look at the news, views, politics, sports, and people shaping Rutherford County.
Right now that time, 9:06. Well, this morning we have a special edition of The Roundtable. It is a best of show. So stay with us. We're going to get to that in just a second. And Wayne Blair is going to be joining us. Rick Hall as well on this best of program of The Roundtable. Right here on WGNS, your Good Neighbor station on the airwaves since 1947.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday morning edition of the Roundtable Show with Rick and Wayne. And good morning, Wayne. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. Went out on the boat Saturday, and the water was like 60.
So cold.
Yeah, 69. I'm going, well, I'll just sit here.
Dip the old toe in the water and we'll end it at that.
Yeah, just enjoy being on the water, but certainly would like to get in. The funny thing is that the grandchildren who just don't seem to understand water temperature in the past, just on the boat, off the boat, on the boat, jumping in. Apparently it was too cold for them too, so they stayed on the boat most of the time. So, but would like for the water to get a little warmer. Certainly enjoy getting on the boat.
Yeah, I don't blame it at all. I went and played golf Sunday. Shout out to the guys over at Old Fort. It looked great, and I had a good conversation with Steve and a couple of others out there. I haven't been out there in a little while. I've just been too busy doing other stuff, but I got around to golf in between the rain drops.
Well, I've gotten my short irons. I've been kind of hitting the ball down in the retention pond. It's dry. It has been dry. Now it's wet. So
they did. They moved my pond and made it a detention pond in a different spot, right?
No, isn't that hilarious? So, but as far as a bright spot, Braves doing well this year.
They're kicking butt.
So several years they've really started off slow and came on strong.
I haven't been able to go to the game. Now, my wife's been to two, and she just booked her third. So here I am staying back here working, and she keeps going to Braves games. So.
We talked about taking the 4 grandchildren to Atlanta. I'm not sure that Riley would enjoy it as much as the 3 boys.
Truist Park, man, the way they've got it set up now, I just think it's phenomenal. It's a good time.
But we love Turner. I mean, it was just not easy to get to being downtown.
That's right.
But had a good time, and hey, football's not long.
Counting the days, man.
Counting the days, pretty much. Brother Rick, it's a pleasure to have Commission 21 candidate Jeff Lloyd with us this morning. And Jeff, I've kept up with you on Facebook, and really looking forward to hearing about you and your family. And I know that you and Rick have become fast friends, and it's a real pleasure to have you with us this morning.
Yeah, thank you. So happy to be here and appreciate the invite, and looking forward to having a great discussion.
The neat thing for both, kind of for you, that both Rick and I, of course, Rick is a sitting commissioner and I'm a past one. We know the pain that you're going through, knocking on doors and glad handing and trying to meet people, and it's a tough way to spend a summer.
Yeah, it's been a great experience, though. I've really enjoyed getting out and just meeting so many different people from within the district. Once you get through those first few, because it's different today. I haven't knocked on a door since I sold candy bars for school fundraiser. So I mean, it's one of those things where you kind of knock, hesitate, you hear a dog getting angry, and you're like, oh my goodness, these people are going to be upset, scratching up their floors, and but the people have been out, they've been great, really good response, and got to hear a lot of great feedback, and just get out and meet your neighbors if nothing else. So I really enjoyed it.
Well, your Facebook presence has been very good. I feel like I know you just by keeping up with you on Facebook, so I think you've done that very well.
No, thank you.
So tell us about District 21, because here we have 21 districts, and nobody really knows what district they're in. They'll I had somebody call me the other day, and they were in District 9, and they say, oh well, somebody said to call you, and I think it's because, like you got a large social media network going on, so people see that name and just think, well, you can reach out to any, but we serve a district, but we have the county's best interests at mind. But walk us through 21 and where it's at mostly.
Sure. So not far from here, if you think about Domino's on Middle Tennessee campus, they're at Baird and Main. You run that out toward Reedyville, but not quite all the way, and then cross over 70. You've got Mount Herman Road, Double Springs Road, Dilton Mankin is kind of the cutoff going toward Christiana. Mm-hmm. And then you come on down Manchester Pike into Broad Street, and that's a little cube of the district that it is. Some of the schools in there, Hobgood, which is a voting location, Black Fox Elementary School is in the district, Publix, Walmart on Rutherford Boulevard, just some of the landmarks.
So you've got both city and county as far as your area.
Yes.
That makes it even more difficult.
It's a challenge. It's different.
Easy to walk the neighborhoods in the city because they're kind of tighter. Then you get out, like you said, out Mount Herman and in places like that, you may have to walk half a mile to get to the next driveway.
It is, and some of the driveways are half a mile long.
Yeah. You question if you want to walk down there or not, right?
Exactly.
So you are a local guy?
Yes, sir. Yes, I've been here since I was 4 years old. Moved from Arizona, where I was born, but graduated from Siegel High School and met my wife after school. What's interesting there, we both went to Blackman together before I finished up at Siegel. Didn't know each other in high school.
Uh-huh.
And so we randomly reconnected after school. I was back in town working at Sears here, and that's how I met my wife.
At work.
That's right.
I'll be darned. So tell us a little bit. So you played, we were talking outside in your background as far as, but you played football at Siegel, right? And went on to UT Chattanooga.
Yes.
What position you played? Tell us a little about that. All-American status or what?
I'm nowhere near that. I punted, really enjoyed it. Just loved sports in general and wanted to find a way to contribute. similar to what I want to do here with commission, just see how can I be involved and help support other people. And, so I'm a little guy, I stopped growing. I've been the same size since I was a freshman in high school. Kind of opposite of what you were telling me.
That happened to me too, height-wise, but the girth is my problem now.
No, I didn't grow until I hit college. That was what's weird. I was 5'8", 152, like I told you, when I graduated. Now, a year later, my sophomore year, I was 6'2" and 215.
Would like to say that you, Kenny Nolan, who I played with at middle, and he was a kicker, and he was your principal, and just a great guy.
Yeah, it was a great experience at Siegel, and I still keep up with some of those people. Coach Revis with baseball over there. I did play baseball as well in high school, and there's so many great educators and coaches in the county, and so it's really neat to see how many have stuck together, at Siegel in particular.
Well, so many of the state championships basically come through Rutherford County. So
yeah, you're right.
I mean,
who made the biggest influence on you growing up? Because we always got one, and it's either that coach or that teacher or somebody like that. But who made that impact on you?
I mean, mine was, my dad for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And, I had Coach David Watson was a huge influence for me. David Alsip at Blackman going back. And then my freshman year at Blackman, who I got to reconnect with, he helps at PCA, is Coach Hicklin. And so there's just so many great people that are committed and dedicated to the youth here and just helping develop, not just with athletics, but in life in general. So those are some that come to mind. I'm probably leaving some out, but it's spread around. There's not one that I can go to. There's just been so many that I've had a great opportunity to grow up with.
Coach also played on the 1971 Central State Championship football team. I think it was 71, and I'm not sure that they still are not the best high school football team ever. I mean, they just had so many players that went to big-time schools. Leo Martin went to Oklahoma. I think Alsop went to Vanderbilt. Maybe Watson, I think maybe Vanderbilt of Damascus, the center, went to UT. So, I mean, they just had an amazing football team.
So tell us about like your personal life. What do you do? What do you do for work, for a living, things like that? I hope this helps you not have to walk so far. So the more we can tell people about you, the easier it might hopefully be on you.
Absolutely. Well, start personal life. So been married coming up on 12 years. My wife, Jerica, and as I said, we met here in Murfreesboro, but it was after school and I came back.
Yeah.
We've got 2 kids, Jensen's 6, and our daughter Janae's 2. And so that's just great family. Couldn't have a better wife, better kids. It's just big time blessing to have that team at the house. And so professionally, I currently work for Go Store It Self Storage. And newer for me, I went through my first 20 years of my career in retail operations. So Sears, which was great to me, almost 17 years with that company, and started in high school, worked my way up to where eventually I was running entire markets of 30 or 40 stores, that were, $20-30 million each in retail business. And I got to do that all over the Southeast, a little bit in the Ohio Valley. Unfortunately, that company kind of fell apart a little bit, but that's a huge part of my life. And then Old Time Pottery corporate out of Murfreesboro, I spent about 3 years running their store operations for them before I got into the storage industry. Do a little bit of boat and RV storage, marinas, and also the self-storage piece.
Well, you'll be a handy asset on the commission because it seems like every other month we've got a storage unit coming through. There's one that came through on Mount Herman last night in our planning commission. So I think they turned it down or maybe deferred it to look at it more because of the lot it was on. But that's an interesting one, and it's evolved a lot. It's not these old square box rolling things, because I know there's one out on Epps Mill Road, and they're covered storage. I have an RV and had to spend all this money for put my RV inside, but now they're gotten smart enough they're putting roofs over them and making the storage for us, that you buy a $300,000 RV, you just don't want to sit out in the sun all the time. So
Right. Yeah. We have one in Christiana on Miller Road.
Yeah.
That same thing, covered with power. And it is an interesting industry. I knew nothing about it. Came out of retail to look for a better work-life balance, which I have now, and met with someone from LinkedIn. We sat down in an office in Nashville and said, hey, do you think you could help us with this? And told him I'll figure it out. Overnighted me a laptop, got an email. Hey, Jeff, all right, figure it out.
Wow.
That's how I got started in the storage industry.
Easy.
That was it.
Wow. Sounds like you have a pretty diverse business mind, which going into the commission with almost $1 billion budget, Rick.
Yes, sir.
You're going to have that kind of mentality because with all the different committees and of course education takes up the bulk of it. County government's a challenge.
It is, and I am sort of a numbers nerd. I enjoy numbers. I have been fully accountable for budgets that have not quite $1 billion, but I've had $300-400 million budgets that I've been directly accountable for, and sometimes you have to make tough decisions that you're going to cut out. In my world, it could be payroll, or it might be, this is unfortunate, but we're going to have to look at how we're staffing a business. Or we may have to look at how we price items or increase prices. Storage, same thing. Mm-hmm. So, that's something from my background I think would be beneficial. Having that ability to read information, make a decision, solicit feedback from people, and then say, listen, whether this is going to be popular or unpopular, not afraid to make a decision that's right when you have the facts to support it.
So what drew you toward running for office, specifically like the county commission now in District 21? So what spurred you for that? Because like you said, you've been pretty busy in your corporate world, and it sounds like to me on that district side of that, you're probably doing a lot of traveling, and now you got a better position. But what led you in this direction?
Sure. So, I've met some great people as I coach middle school football at Providence Christian Academy here. Mm-hmm. I'm going in my second year with that. And a lot of the people there just with coaching, and this Chris Phillips in particular, who just even about a year ago said, Jeff, man, you need to get involved, somewhere local. We could use someone like you. He had served on some GOP board, I believe, and said, we could use you. And I started getting emails and volunteered to be a precinct captain. And then that evolved into, hey, we could use a candidate for District 21. Sitting commissioner's not running for re-election, and, just a combination of being told, hey, I'd like you to get involved, and then looking at it a little bit and understanding it'd be some time sacrifice, but, just I think it's important to contribute where you can, and thought, hey, let's go for it.
No doubt. So your short time now looking into it and starting the campaign, what's some issues that you see you probably can help with? Because you said you're a numbers guy, and obviously with our budget and the way we do things, and if you've looked at it here lately, it's we're spending a lot of money and we don't have a lot of money coming in. So just what's your thoughts on that and what's your feelings? How do you think you can help with it? Yeah,
again, I think it's just, understanding what we have first and then chopping it up. As you mentioned, the schools, and rightfully so, take about 2/3 of this big budget that we have. And then you've got people and, places fighting over the rest of it. I think that I have a great ability to listen to people, put that feedback together and just help itemize, prioritize where the money needs to go. It's funny, knocking on doors, you don't get these big online internet, divisive issues that people are concerned about.
Yeah.
People are talking about, hey, I can't push my kids in the stroller in the neighborhood because the side of the asphalt's fallen off into the ditch.
That's right.
Or, we could use some enforcement around here. We've got kids racing their cars in the neighborhood. It's not safe to ride a bike. So it's issues like that I think there's solutions. Some neighborhoods have little speed bumps, speed humps, so Still a lot of research to do to find out exactly where money could go and where it could be best utilized. But I think just being able to work together, collaborate with people, and kind of help say, hey, here's priority 1, 2, 3, and just take it from there.
Yeah. I think me being on 15 years ago and now being back on in the 6 months I've been there, traffic is so bad. And the way people drive is so bad. And when I now have meetings and talk with people, that's their number 1 and number 2. And, I thought it was a good thing favorably with Kenny Barrett, winning his primary, and now he's going on the general side. But, all things point to his direction that he may end up being our next sheriff. He was doing in an interview, and he put that as one of his top priorities about the way the traffic is and the speeding, and that the days of the sheriff's office never wrote tickets when I grew up because it was a elected position. The sheriff didn't want to get voted out because all of his deputies were writing tickets. So it's they look at things a little bit now, and it looks like, hopefully in the future you'll see some traffic enforcement. But what comes along with that is our sheriff's department is, they're about $12,000 a year under what everybody else around us pay, and we need to figure out that balance of that. But then again, with your numbers in mind and us limited to how we can take in money, I look forward to, if you get on, we're able to work through this and find some resolutions to get us forward, because we are a huge county and we're not slowing down, and we've got to have thinking outside the box thinkers like you're saying you are to help us with this area. But that.
I can't think of a better revenue producing opportunity than taking advantage of all these knuckleheads that drive like idiots out here. I mean, I-24 from Murfreesboro all the way to Nashville. I know that's not, our, purview to take care of that, but just Memorial and Sam Ridley and US 41, write tickets, bring in revenue. If you get enough tickets, you're going to slow down because the state takes your license away after a while, don't they, Rick?
Oh yeah, you're allowed only so many points. But I'm a retired police officer, so, but when I grew up, and then when I became an officer in the early '90s, we wrote tickets. And when you hit the city limits, even if you were an off-duty officer and still today, I'll hit my brakes when I hit city limits of Smyrna, because they don't write tickets like they used to. But they 5 over, they'd fire you up, man. And it was cheap tickets back then.
What was it, 9 in your mind?
A 9 in your mind. That's exactly right. So
it's the most dangerous thing we do every day is get in a car and drive. And there's just, I don't understand what changed in our culture to have such reckless driving all over the place. Whether it's in the neighborhoods or interstate, it's interesting.
I had a neighbor's son who has one of these crotch rocket motorcycles, and he doesn't ride it on 2 wheels. Everywhere he goes, I see him is on 1. And I cornered him one day and was able to talk to him, and I think he thought I was going to kill him, and I wasn't. I was trying to get in his mind a little bit to understand this kid and where his thinking is. But he grew up on video games, so he did all the videos and everything else, and they equate it to, well, I can just hit reset. Well, unfortunately, a young man had a really bad accident. He ended up doing well over 100 miles an hour, hits the rear end of a car doing 55, broke both his legs, and had a hard time for a while. And I thought, well, that'll make the change. It didn't change it. It's just kind of a mindset. So I don't know if writing tickets will change the mindsets, but financially, you get enough in your pocket, it may help as well.
My other pet peeve are people that do not pay attention to school bus. I've witnessed so many times over the years people running the stop sign on a school bus. Either coming forward or not stopping if they're on a 3 or 4 lane road. I want to put you under the jail, not looking out for our children.
Yeah, that's awful. You see videos online now, they do their sting and undercover, and it's unbelievable how many people just blow through. And I don't know if their face is buried in their phone, or if they're truly just don't care to stop, or they think because it's on the other lane.
Yep. No, I just was in a wreck, a couple of months ago now, but kid turning in a turning lane on his phone. he started a turn, and here I saw him well back and had stopped and was sitting for several seconds.
Oh, no.
And he still turned and hit right into me. And the kid admitted to me, he said, "Sir, I'm sorry." He said, I was reading a text message from my girlfriend. We're fighting, and I was wanting to reply to her. And he was turning at an intersection.
Well, fortunately, you weren't on the motorcycle or you'd be dead.
I would be. I had a thing I wrote down, and I want to go back to it. So you played at UTC, UT Chattanooga, and you played football down there. But I look at Chattanooga and the way our area is here so much differently. Did you learn anything that, like, when you come back here and you see the big difference that says, I'd like to see this more like Chattanooga, or if Chattanooga was more like how we do things here? Does that make sense?
You know, it does, and I know the population's exploded there too.
Yeah.
But the cities are so different. You've got the riverfront, Chattanooga, more of a downtown scene with a lot of things, and we have what I enjoy, the more traditional, what I think of a town square, downtown area. Our school was walkable to downtown Chattanooga, and similar, MTSU, you're right there, walk down to the square. So nothing, that I would really say I wish we could do more of. There's both, Greenway here and Riverwalk at Chattanooga. I think it's two cities that have both done a great job of, just putting things out there that the residents need, that the, population can enjoy. Parks seem to be similar, and just different vibe, different group of people. I think Chattanooga probably closer to, like a Knoxville type of town.
Yeah.
Well, Blue Cross Blue Shield invested a lot into the infrastructure downtown, is what I had learned over the years as well.
Yes, that's a big employer there for sure. Unum down there, and I loved my time there. It was great, and I think that here in Murfreesboro, we just have it made. I tell people all the time, we're 40 minutes from the airport. If you want to go to an event downtown Nashville, you're close, and I want to just help keep what's already a great place to live, and that's kind of what has me motivated to get involved and participate in our local government.
Yeah.
We have one thing in common, that MTSU, we went from a raider to a flying horse, and Chattanooga went from a venomous snake to a teddy bear or something like that. Something really cute and cuddly rather than a moccasin. So
they've got the mockingbird now. I think at one point, which the state bird at least. Those things are annoying.
I don't know. At least covers that, brother. Maybe a flying horse ain't so bad after compared to a mockingbird.
Yeah,
let's go birds.
Well, I have to agree with what you're saying, because, when I got out of police work and got in the insurance industry, I was in, like, Marshall County and Giles County and Murray County. I had office down that way, and just 30 minutes down the road, it's a different outlook. Marshall County, everybody, as soon as they graduate, they're leaving, and the people, I would go to their community meetings and talk with other business leaders down there, and they would talk about, man, they'd change places with us in a minute, because we got all this growth, we have all these jobs, our kids are able to stay home. A lot of their kids are moving to Rutherford County because they could find somewhat affordable housing, because we have housing. They didn't have anything down there. So while we see the growing pains, and you'll find out when you're on the commission, you'll feel the anger. But I tried to tell a group last night I was at planning with, is that, hey, we could be in a slot to where we didn't have anything. And I said, everybody's fighting to be where we're at, and they want what you have. And people, I've got a little small farm, and I have people all the time. Had a guy pull up my driveway, and he's from New York, and had a Cadillac black, what you picture, right? This New York guy, slick back hair, black Cadillac CTS, big plate on the front, New York. And he goes, hey, I want to buy your place. And I was like, it's not for sale. And he said, oh, no, everything's for sale. And I said, no, sir, it's not. And he said, and he's like, well, why? Why is it not for sale? And I said, I have what I want, and you want what I have. I said, I don't want to ever be in your shoes again. Then he's like, well, can I walk through your house? And I said, no, you can leave. I got him up my grass.
Like a scene out of a movie.
He did. He just literally pulled up my driveway, and but they are, he's a corporate guy. He came down here with a big furniture people that, we have all these warehouse districts, and he was coming down with that, but they want to be where we're at and take advantage of what your family's been able to afford and what my family has and what Wayne's, he's one of the founding guys. He was built a Goodall Clinic in Smyrna. It's never left here, but I'm a transplant as well. I was born in Delaware. We come down here when I was 3 years old, or 3 months old.
You're an infant, so you're ingrained now.
You and I are a lot alike. So
I know you probably talked to Rick about the different committees and stuff like that. And although I was on the school board for 3 terms, my time on the commission. And I'd been to quite a few commission meetings over the years, but the committee system was something that was new to me, and I had to study up and get squared away on those pretty quick.
Yeah, there's a lot of those. Even just learning, what the which ones you're interested in doesn't mean those are the ones you'll get to serve on.
That's right.
So. Public safety's one that I'm passionate about, and that just, maybe it's a fluke, maybe it's just a little bit of, I feel like that's globally, just in general, a group that's just not treated very well. Whether we're talking law enforcement, firefighters, when you see what's happened in some of the bigger cities across the country, just, it's, everyone always wants and needs more money, but it seems like they can get shorted more often than not. They may be left out. And I've spoken to a lot of sheriff deputies here about some of the pay disparities, some of the ways that, you can escalate to a top tier level at city here or an adjacent county, adjacent city. So, that's one area. And then with my current work with storage, just properties, I just, planning is something else that, is interesting to me. But yeah, a lot to figure out with committees and where, if elected, that see where I could help serve.
I mean, you nailed it on the head as far as the public safety goes. We're behind and we're lagging how we pay our sheriff's deputy and our firemen. That we've got EMS workers as well, but because of you and I have talked about that, our revenue sources of where we're allowed to get money, and it's basically property taxes, and they did change our thing from having $1 a square foot to square footage, so the houses being built gave us a little bit more money. But I had a talk with another director of another department this weekend, and he says, well, they felt slighted a little bit, they said, because it seems like every time he turns around, they're hearing about public safety and fire and police, and they're not talking about, well, what about the rest of us? And I said, well, the hard thing is, not just because I'm a police officer and I want those guys to have more money, is we spend so much more money invested in a fire and a policeman. If you hire somebody in the accounting side or this side or that side, they do a little bit of specialized training and they hit the ground. We have to take and send an officer off. We got to do a complete training with them. We have to outfit them with their uniforms and their gun belts and everything else to go on that. They go through some training, then we send them to the academy. We spend all the money for the academy work that they do. Then they're finally certified to be on their own. Then they come back and then they leave us. So we spend all this. We can't have a contract with them, to say, all right, if we send this, we're going to charge you back for whatever. They just go somewhere else. So we pay to train them, and then they go to Smyrna or Laverne or, outlying county around us or something like that for better pay. But we spend all that money, and then that cycle starts all over again. Well, we spend $100,000 that year on that person and they leave us, then that's $100,000 that we've washed, and we got to start all over again.
It's a big chunk.
Yeah.
And I understand, people that are doing the offices and the other different opportunities within the county government. They're greatly needed and appreciated.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking bad about them. It's
I know, but the difference is if you're a first responder, maybe if you're a deputy or a fire professional or a paramedic, you are in harm's way. Every day you're in harm's way. Even if you're on an ambulance, you may be pulling up into a really deadly situation, and you, at least as a deputy, you're armed, but as a firefighter or a paramedic, you're unless you're packing, against county policy, you're probably not armed. And but again, you're in harm's way with these other special services.
Agreed. Well, Jeff, thank you so far. We're going to take our first break. And you're listening to Jeff Lloyd. He's a county commissioner candidate for District 21 here in the Murfreesboro area. But listen to the Rick and Wayne Show on WGNS. We'll be right back.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. More people depend on WGNS for local news that matters. We're your local news leader. News Radio WGNS.
Insurance should be simple, not complicated. That's why at Rayburn Insurance, Agent Rick Hull cuts through the jargon and helps you understand your options clearly. He's committed to finding the right coverage that fits your unique needs and budget. Their team has been a trusted partner in the community since 1973. Ready to make insurance easy? Get with Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency. He's ready to help you get the protection you deserve.
First Shot transforms Rutherford County youth. Coach Andy Herzer leads dynamic basketball camps and clinics, building skills and character since 2003. Kids dive into exciting STEM projects, sparking creativity through hands-on coding, art, and dance. They elevate their mind, spirit, and body in summer and winter programs. Visit FirstShotTN.org today to learn more. First Shot, where kids gain, elevate, and develop.
Mills Family Pharmacy.
Here at Mills Pharmacy, we do compound medications.
Craig Buckner with Mills Family Pharmacy.
Compounding medications are prescriptions that are not commercially available, or you need a special formulation. If it's a liquid, suppository, or specialized cream, we make that in our lab.
Mills Family Pharmacy offers a wide range of compounding, all to create custom medications for you.
We're at 2994 South Church Street, next to Toots.
Customized services at Mills Family Pharmacy.
When it comes to your child's health, you want care that's close, convenient,
and centered around the needs of your family.
At MMC Pediatrics, we're more than just doctors.
We're partners in your parenting journey.
Here for every growth spurt, for every boo-boo, every fever, and every flu.
Our team approach means that your child always sees someone that knows them.
We are MMC Pediatrics.
We are right beside you
every step of the way.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
This is a paid legal ad.
My name is Ty, and I was seriously injured by a truck.
It did not cost me a thing to talk to the law office of John Day. Not one penny.
The law office of John Day, they were great. They got us to a point to where we're satisfied and comfortable.
Turn left, they're there. You turn right, they're there. They was just there. And to me, they're the number one. They're the number one in the world.
Injured by a big truck? Trust the law offices of John Day.
They saved my life.
WGNS is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. Since 1936, MTE has provided the reliable service and peace of mind we count on. Manage your account anytime at MTE.com or through the MyMTE app.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
And welcome back to the second segment of Tuesday Mornings with Rick and Wayne. And it's certainly our pleasure to have commission candidate for District 21, Mr. Jeff Lloyd. And Rick and I've really enjoyed having the opportunity to talk with you this morning and know more about you, and maybe you can talk about your approach with communicating with your constituents if elected.
Sure. One of my goals is to be able to say, hey, I've taken feedback from the community and presented it where I have an opportunity, to help control what we can control at a commission level. And I plan on being available for people, whether that's having a set time each week to check email responses. I've had a great interaction with people in the district already just through social media. I love the updates, that I see Rick post, some other commissioners post, just to keep people informed, because I think that's one of the big challenges. I knock on doors and people maybe don't even know what district they're in, but they have no idea what's going on in the county. So I think just keeping people updated with a summary of what takes place, letting people know that, hey, you can watch, or in some cases even attend these meetings to be engaged. So as part of that, just being available to take feedback from the district and then sharing information with them, because I think that's a big opportunity that we've got, is just making people aware of what commissioners do, what other local groups and politicians do, and just work on making that a much better group effort.
I think probably the most important thing to most voters these days, they just want to have the opportunity to share their concern and for someone to listen. Kind of like a husband and a wife. Guys want to fix problems sometimes before they even know what the problem is. And the spouse wants you to listen. They may not want you to fix it right now, but they want you to know what their issue is.
That's right. And I'll tell you, some of the most gracious voters that have told me, I'll keep names out of it, but there's an individual that comes straight to mind who would never vote for me in a million years just for political reasons. Yeah. But said, Jeff, you know what, man, I've lived here for 33 years, and you're the first person that's ever knocked on my door and asked me what's important to me and asked me for your vote. So I'm going to support you. And I've had a lot of that feedback. You're absolutely right. And I have learned over the years, and my wife may disagree, but I have learned to listen. I have learned to listen to people.
Watch them talk. Watch their lips move, and you can't go wrong.
You just can't watch them talk. You better listen.
Yeah, that too.
But no, just listening and making someone feel like I care about what they're telling me. And it doesn't mean that, I ask you about what you think and that's going to go into place. But at least then they know, hey, my feedback's been heard. I will be someone who won't be afraid, even if it's not a popular subject, to say, hey, here's how we're feeling in District 21 about this that's on the agenda. And then at least they know that I'm being supportive of, because I have a super diverse district.
Yeah.
Arguably one of the most in the county.
I would agree with that.
It's a big mix. There's high density housing. There's apartments, there's townhomes, there's farmland, there's a big mix.
Yeah, and I agree. You're in the same kind of situation I am. I had a commissioner who wasn't really involved or engaged a whole lot with his constituents, and yours is as well. He's a super nice guy, but super quiet at the same time. And a different approach now that I'm more active, and I'm more active on social media, and I will engage sometimes some people before they may engage me, and that it makes that relationship, I feel. Now, and I'll tell you, and some of my constituents will tell me, you're not telling me what I want to hear. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you how the process works and how it's going to go, and I can't promise you how that'll end, but this is how it's going to happen. And I feel like you gain a little bit of that respect. Like you're saying, you got somebody there that may not politically believe the same way you are, but you can find out pretty quick. You got some common ground. But you had a primary in your district. We talked about it off air, but you had two Democrats running against each other for the first time since we went to our primary status, and you had an opponent as well. So what do you say to those folks that didn't vote for you? Because you've got an opponent that they didn't vote for you, and two Democrats side of it that didn't vote. So what's your message to them?
Sure. My message is, that I'm someone who will listen and represent everyone. Mm-hmm. I think one of what's really encouraging in today's political landscape is that there were four people, that with different belief systems that were willing to compete to get involved in the community. Because one of the reasons I'm running is that I think the participation is lacking in general from those willing to serve, and then even just those that are able to get out and vote. Mm-hmm. So, and I've stayed in contact with some of these people that ran, and, even though some of those supporters from the other side, may not align with where we may, ultimately it boils down to someone that, again, I'll listen to you, I'll take your feedback and, just do everything I can to do what's best for our district, for the county. And sometimes that may not be what you wanted or agreed with, but I will always say, hey, here's why. You might have information that the general public doesn't, so you may know that something is truly best, or this is the only path forward. And I think it's important, again, getting back to communication, that we explain the reason why you vote a certain way, or why, this unpopular scenario is going to play out. Here's the result. Here's why it will benefit you.
Being one of 21 makes it a little difficult in itself. What I would beg you to, and just watching your Facebook post and getting to meet you this morning, I feel like you have the same heart that I do, that, okay, I want to represent my district, but I also want to take care of this county community.
Right.
And as a school board member, it certainly has to be the way it works, and as a commissioner as well. But, the county community is taking care of the entire citizenry of this county is paramount.
And I've seen a little bit of that just in the couple meetings I've attended, just where I've seen someone stand up and represent the people in their district and have a valid argument. But when you look at the greater good of the entire county, what was right for this section that is 3% of the population isn't right for everyone. And that's where it's, the tough decisions. And, we're asking to get put in these tough positions. And sometimes there's going to be decisions made that not everyone agrees with. And again, I think if we're transparent and explain, the reason behind it, some people just won't accept what you have to tell them. But at least we can go to bed at night and say, hey, you know what? I made the best decision I could for Rutherford County.
I agree. Where are you at? Obviously, I'm thinking of hot buttons for the commission, and number one on my list is the landfill.
It's a big one.
So if you're up to speed on everything
I was not expecting that, Rick.
It's a big one, and I'll tell you why. One of the assets that my company I work for manages is right across the street on East Jefferson Pike.
Yeah.
And so we have 400 county residents that keep boats and motorhomes parked out there. We have hundreds of storage units that they fill, and there's some challenges created there. But my stance on it is I don't know what an immediate alternative is. And I have seen examples, and I travel a little bit for work, so Naples, Florida. I got to see a similar layout of a landfill type scenario where, they're able to burn and convert and power like 30,000 residents' electricity. That stuff's fun to talk about, but probably hundreds of millions of dollars to spend. And the way to get that money, like you said earlier, is only one way to do it. That's not popular. So, I certainly am not a fan of growing that thing any larger, or expanding it. I really want to learn about what some of the alternatives are for those that want it to disappear tomorrow.
Agreed. Well, we've been brought into the lawsuit. So what Murfreesboro was suing Republic for, because of the old county dumps next to it, the federal judges agreed that we need to also be a defendant. So the city of Murfreesboro is now not only suing Republic, but us as well. So at the end of it, if it doesn't go well, then it will cost us an immense amount of money, and I don't know how to fix that thing. So I'm not a trash guy. I'm like you. I'm kind of leaning towards public safety and property management and things like that, but I'm really trying to get my head around this whole waste system.
Yeah, what's concerning is, again, from door knocking, you meet all types of people. And one individual was in nuclear research, and he was bringing up he was talking about how he had done some studies for it, and if that mountain grows any larger, the amount of heat and with what waste is in there can put off just some really dangerous fumes and just run off into the Stones River. That's concerning for wildlife. So
drinking water.
Yes. Yeah. It's a problem. I just hate to really say take it down tomorrow. Because you have to have a solution.
Exactly.
The trash has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
We just prefer it not pile up become a 2,000 foot tall mountain in the county.
Well, it's really evident, and what was it? Several weeks or months ago, I'm driving down Jefferson Pike towards Mount Trashmore, Rick, and I call you and I go, Rick, this thing has grown exponentially. I mean, I was shocked. I had not been that way in a while, and it was like a panoramic view of a mountain of trash, and I was taken back, and I even called Rick about it because I was so surprised.
Yeah, well, Robert P., he's next to you out there.
Yes,
is a great one to lean on. His daughter is president of the Rutherford County Recycling Coalition. That she is a great resource on that, and I've talked a lot with Robert, and we've had him on the show, and he sits next to me on the commission, and I met with his daughter and been to some events they've got to kind of get my head around that. There was a great student. His name is I lost his name. He was at the commission meeting, I think 2 meetings ago, and we basically gave him praise because he was a Central Magnet student, and he developed a program at his school with some other students of recycling. And they set that school up for a recycling program. They had their own dumpsters, and they took the responsibility for that year to not only come up with that program, but enact it and made it happen. And they were able to come up with how much diverted trash they did from the landfill by that recycling program. And they've got now students that are going to take it over this next year and carry it on out. But that's a beginning formula that I hope that we go, because if we start teaching our kids now how to recycle, that will make that habit to where us old folks that not so do it so well.
He looked at me when he said that.
Well, I'm one of them, and I've learned really hard. You wouldn't believe how much trash I've cut out just by doing it. And I wish Amazon, and I wish I knew a higher up there at Amazon, but you figure out I've got a neighbor that it seems like every day that truck is there, but they're throwing every one of those cardboard boxes away. And I wish Amazon had a program that if they brought one, they took 2 away, and you just broke your boxes down, set them out there. And they did it
like the
swap out.
The ink cartridge companies do that for those commercial printers.
Yeah.
You get the cardboard when you buy it, so you can ship it back when it's time to recycle the ink.
Wow.
You just cut your box down. You have a spot where you put it, where your delivery instructions, and I got a side door that I put my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I put a box out there one day just to try it, and I got several deliveries, and I thought, well, that box there, we'll see what they do. And they never grabbed it, but I thought it would be amazing if they would implement some kind of program. You figure that recycling part of that they did, as long as you keep the box clean, they could turn around and tape it up and send it to the next one.
Well, they can recycle these boxes up to 7 times.
Yeah.
So
Wayne was real big on that, and I'll learn on Wayne because he was on the commission by that time when they really did studies as far as what was the one that you really liked? What was the name of that company?
If you hadn't
Pratt Industries.
Yeah, Pratt Industries. They have a big recycling facility, I think, up in maybe northern central Kentucky or South Indiana, and it's just they had said at the time that they could divert 40% of our residential waste just through cardboard and plastic recycling. And I left the commission after that, and it all just kind of went by the wayside. But let me just say this to you, Jeff. God bless you for wanting to serve, because it is not an easy task to represent your district, because, like you said, it's very diverse. You can have a lot of people with a lot of different opinions, but I can tell from talking to you today that you're a really smart guy, and you'll be able to figure it out. But you got a tough road to hoe.
Thank you.
If you're successful.
And I say the same to your wife for allowing you to do this. Our wives have to make sacrifices. Yes. I was at a planning meeting, which was not one of my regular meetings, but I had 2 going through, and I rolled in at 8:30 last night, and she's taking care of the horses and the dogs and the family life away from that you're usually there for. So it's a big step up for your wife to allow you this opportunity to help as well. But anything else you'd like to cover?
Hey, I mean, just, we've got early voting starting, I think, July 17th.
That's exactly right.
That's a big deal. And then obviously our general election on August the 6th. So, yeah, I just appreciate your support, your vote. I am, like you said, on Facebook and Instagram, and I reach out with questions. Happy to talk to you. I want to meet a lot more of you. I've hit about 500 houses door knocking for the primary, and we'll knock out hopefully that many or maybe a few more to just meet some more new folks.
Yeah. So you've been listening to Jeff Lloyd. He's the candidate for County Commissioner, District 21, and I really appreciate you being here with us today. I thought it was a great show, and
yeah, been a pleasure.
Best of luck, and if we can help you, please let us know.
Thanks.
Everybody have a great week, and we'll be back with you as usual next week. Have a great week. Bye.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at wgnsradio.com. This is Good Neighbor Events with Bart Walker. Brought to you by the law offices of John Day and AmeriCare Pest Control.
This is a paid legal ad.
At the law offices of John Day, we take only real cases that make a real difference.
The law offices of John Day took the burden really off of my shoulders.
So if you think you're going to get rich quick with a frivolous case, I'm not the lawyer for you.
I want you to know that I appreciate everything you have done so much. I know you went over and beyond.
If we're not able to help or aren't the right lawyer for you, we'll do the best to point you in the right direction. If you've been injured, call the law offices of John Day for a free consultation.
Now, Good Neighbor Events. Here's Bart Walker.
Our community is